Hi guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again, and we are back with a new video on your legal affairs for the month of June of 2022. So if you are anyone who's planning to go for CLAT of 2023, which is going to happen on 18th of December of 2022, then this video is very important. And if you are going for AILET also, this video will make sense for you. Now, if you are watching this video for the first time or you are here new on this channel, please make sure that you hit on the like, share and subscribe button. And if you are not a part of a Telegram channel, please join the Telegram channel for the regular updates. Now, the first news for June 2022 was that the tenure of the RAW chief has been extended by 1 year. So the Committee of Cabinet has increased the tenure of the RAW chief till June 30, 2023. It is the second extension of service of Samant Kumar Goyal. Now, he was an IPS officer from the Punjab cadre, and he also completed his tenure of RAW in 2 years of June on 2021. Now, he's the third RAW chief to get a tenure over 3 years. Okay, he's one of the three. Now, before him, the founder of RAW, R.N. Rao, served for 9 years. Furthermore, N.F. Sapduk was serving for 6 years. So he's the third one who's gotten an extension. Now, there is a new CEO of the Niti Aayog. Now, the retired IAS officer Parameshwar Iyer has been appointed as the new CEO of Niti Aayog by the union government. He's an IAS of batch of 1981, UP cadre, and also he's replacing Amitabh Kant, right? So these are some of the basic requirements of learning for the CLAT examination for 2023, and you can see Mr. Parameshwar Rao Iyer is the new CEO of the Niti Aayog. Now, coming to the next news for the day is that Ruchira Kamboj has been India's permanent representative to the UN. Right, the UN is United Nations. Now she's been appointed as the next permanent representative of India in the United Nations. She is currently an Indian ambassador to Bhutan, and she will succeed T.S. Tirumati as she is likely to take up the assignment soon. Now, Ruchira Kamboj has joined the Indian Foreign Services in 1987. She is a civil servant of 1987 batch and also the topper of 1987 Foreign Services batch. Now, she started her diplomatic journey in Paris, France. Now, she was posted as third secretary in Indian Embassy to France. Now, she's been an Indian High Commissioner in South Africa, permanent representative of India to UNESCO in Paris, and also the chief of protocol in New Delhi. So she has held a lot of positions across the government and also across the globe. So she is a well-seasoned person to be as the India's representative to the United Nations. Now, coming to the next news for the day is that Eknath Shinde has sworn as the new Maharashtra CM, right? If you have seen what was going on in the Maharashtra with the Shiv Sena and what the MLAs have done and what has been happening for so long. So finally, the leader, Eknath Shinde, who took out those 40 MLAs with him, has sworn on as the new CM of Maharashtra. And also ex-CM Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has been taken as the deputy chief minister in the government. So that is one of the things that we have seen in Maharashtra happening very, very recently. So you can definitely learn something from that also. Now, there was a draft that was passed on the National Policy on Persons with Disability that is called the PWD. Now, the Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry has invited public feedback on the new draft that is on National Policy on Disability for the PWD. What were the provisions? That the draft currently National Program on Prevention of Disabilities by Health Ministry focuses on traditional causes, but also there are other causes of disability, including malnourishment, socio-cultural factors, medical negligence, and impairment caused by disaster that can be an accident. Now, Right of the Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016 has also increased the number of disabilities from 7 to 21. Okay, so there is an increase in the number of disabilities that are there. Now, policy called for compensation national program on prevention. It will also include the act of the 2016. Now, according to the draft, 1/3 of the most disability in children were preventable if detected timely and early. Now, what was given in this draft, what was being said for the new labor laws that are there in India. Now, there were some new labor laws that were being brought out. Now, what were the things that were said in these labor laws? I have pointed out 5 pointers that were there. The first was the 4-day-a-week policy. Now, the employees will be getting a less number of working days in a week if they can increase the number of hours they are putting in. Okay. Next is working hours, that once the new labor law kicks in, regular working hours can become 12 hours in a day from 9 hours at present. If the company decides to opt for a 12-hour shift, the working days will have to be capped at 4 days a week with 3 mandatory offs. This means that the week's total working hours will remain unchanged at 48 hours. Okay, now eligibility for a leave is that earlier the law requires you to have worked for a minimum of 240 working days in a year to ask for leave. It's now been reduced to 180 working days. Okay, so 3 months. Now, take home salary will definitely go down because the PF contributions have been changed. With the implementation of new wage code, there could be major changes in the earned leave policies also. Now, Malaysia has abolished the mandatory death penalty and has also agreed to substitute on the sentences that will be imposed at the discretion of the courts. Now, the step is significant for the Southeast Asia, where crimes punishable by death includes drug trafficking, murder, kidnapping, terrorism, and possession of firearms. Now, the Malaysian government has decided to abolish the mandatory death penalty after the presentation of a report on the study of alternative sentences for mandatory death penalty during the cabinet meeting on 8th of June. Now, in May of 2020, Zambia has also announced to abolish the death penalty, and the decisions were welcomed by the human rights, saying Zambia's plans to abolish death penalty added to the growing global chorus against the practice. Now, ECI has also announced the presidential elections in 2022. So right now, Mr. Ramnath Kovind is the president of a country. Now, this has been replaced. They will be replaced soon. There is an election proceeding that is going to happen. Now, the voting for presidential elections will be held on July of 18th. And also in India, the presidential elections into 2017 were held on July 17. Winner was declared on July 20. As per Article 62 of the Constitution, election for the next president must be held before the completion of incumbent president term. So the position cannot remain empty. They have to fill up the position and do the elections before Ramnath Kovind gets off the position. Now, how is the president of India elected? In India, the president is elected by the member of the electoral college, consisting of elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha of the parliament. Now, coming to the next part is that who are eligible voters in the presidential election 2022. Following members are eligible. First is elected member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Second is the elected member of legislative assemblies of states and union territories. Who are the electoral college of presidential election? Electoral college of presidential election comprises of 776 MPs of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, besides the MLAs of the state assemblies and union territories of Puducherry and Delhi. The total number of votes for a presidential election are counted based on their value. The value vary from state to state. An MLA of Uttar Pradesh carries the highest value, followed by Maharashtra and West Bengal. So definitely a high valued stake by the states with a large number of population. That's why they are giving so much high stakes. Current president is Ramnath Kovind, who is the 14th president of India, and he assumed the charge on July 25th of 2017. He was a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the first person from Uttar Pradesh to serve at this position. So that is a big deal. Now, this is it for today, guys. I hope you are getting some information about the legal affairs that have happened in the month of June. So I hope you get some knowledge and you try learning those legal affairs. So thanks for joining this live session. Hope you take care of yourself and also have an amazing day ahead. And thanks for joining our live, and hope to see you all again on the same place and same time on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So do take care of yourself and have a nice day.